Hi, good evening, everyone. I've tried to do something unannounced, and I want to see how this works. And it's very hot where I am right now, so I'm cooking. So I want to see how many people actually come into this live chat, and to see how many people actually receive notifications for it. And I see we have two people coming on now. So no announcements. This live chat wasn't announced anywhere. Hi, Dylan. It wasn't announced anyway, so everyone's coming in as is, and I really want to see how well this works and see if this video remains unrestricted. As all the videos that I've announced before end up restricted, just like the last one. It's had over 15,000 views while being restricted. So imagine if it wasn't restricted, how well it would have done. So, hi everyone, we have over 100 people on now. So, that was really quickly. Welcome to all of you. And yeah, it's going to be a fun session. I'm going to spend some time with you now. A lot of you are members, some of you are not. Only subscribers on the channel can comment, and only people that have subscribed within the last 20 minutes will be able to comment here. So it is protected to a degree. Just remember your comments, what you put in the comments can affect whether this video gets shown to more people. And the idea with YouTube is that we get the algorithms to show the videos to as many people as possible. Really need to broaden the channel. And since the last video, over 250 new subscribers have joined this channel. So I want to welcome you. If any of you are coming in new, the first thing I want to tell you about this channel is that we are very different. We're a community of people. I've met more than 20% of the people on this channel. As the channel's grown, that percentage has dropped. At one stage, I'd met about half of the subscribers on this channel in person in meetings. So hopefully I'll meet many of you in future at Freedom SA events. And we're actually doing work on the ground. For those of you that don't know, work that is making a difference. And I wanted to do this video. It's the last day of the month. And I wanted to cover a whole lot of things and then just speak to you guys. You can ask me questions and we can just have fun together. But I want to thank you. We got to 38,000 subscribers. I never thought that this would be a channel that would one day get to this size, considering the controversial things that I say, the unpopular things that I say. So a lot of people that are subscribed to the channel are very upset with me about many things that I say. But I say what I believe to be my perspective on history in the future. And I think up until now, every single thing I've said have proven to be correct. And maybe that is why people are sticking around. They understand that I maybe have a perspective on history in the future that few people have because of past experiences I've had. And those that have made the effort to watch the Moments in Time and Question Everything series will understand that there's no other channel like this on the internet, because there's only one of me. The experiences I have are unique, and the people that have joined this channel as members and join me in my Thursday 8 o'clock live streams will know that there's nothing else like this in the world. And that is important, because in South Africa, we have an opportunity to change things in a way that most other people won't comprehend or understand. We have to do this on the ground. We can't speak about everything in detail on an open platform like this. However, you are the solution. And this is the important thing. I want people to understand that you are going to be the solution to the problems that we face in future. And these problems are going to be severe, and South Africa is going to be one of the places that will face those problems first. In other words, we are going to go through difficult times very soon. And leading up to 2030, it's going to get exponentially worse. There's a literal plan for the United Nations to be in control in South Africa by 2025. Now, anyone that thinks that this is a fable or it's not happening just needs to look at KwaZulu-Natal. Recently, I asked people to send me pictures or any proof of United Nations vehicles being moved on the roads. And I received numerous responses. Some of them are old and some of them were new. And I could verify them because numerous people would give me the same information. All the movements, the verified movements happen in KwaZulu-Natal. And there's one specific movement I have a concern with, where a UN vehicle was moved that would be used for crowd control. Now, why is a UN vehicle that would be used for crowd control with a water cannon in front, why is that a problem? Because the UN is not an elected body in South Africa. We are a part of the United Nations. We are a signatory or a member of the United Nations. We're a signatory to Agenda 21 and a signatory to Agenda 2030, which is a huge problem. And that is not the topic of discussion now. The topic of discussion is the situation in KwaZulu-Natal, the fact that the premier there is literally working with a task force from the United Nations that none of you elected, giving instructions and literally creating a new way of structuring KZN on a district model. So this district model, our president has been speaking about for a very long period of time, and I'll be covering videos this week on the smart city models that he's rolling out and the agricultural sector that will be divided into districts. In other words, they'll decide in this district, we farm XYZ. In another district, we farm something else. And you are going to be forced to change how you farm if your district doesn't allow you to farm certain things. So the control is going to become so immense that your life is going to change forever. And these people are not there to play around because they have an agenda to push down on you, an agenda for the 21st century, an agenda 2030, with 2030 being the end date. This is a United Nations effort, and UNESCO, UNICEF, the World Health Organization, they are all subsidiaries of the UN. They are all playing together to make this happen. So I want you to keep sending me information via my email or wherever else you know you can get hold of me. Send me any images so that I can verify them of UN vehicle movement. Now, there's many images that were sent around that are old, that are ancient, and people are trying to fearmonger. This is dangerous. People need to stop this. There are real threats with regards to the UN, and we need to know when those are happening, where they are happening. I want to know the movement of every vehicle in the country, if I can. So if you can help me to do that, please send me. You can find my email address in the About section of this channel. You can do the robot check. It says the email address. It will uncover and it will show you the email address. And then you can email me the pictures. Some of you know how to get hold of me in other ways. I don't want to make it public anymore because the messages just became too much. But thank you to those that have sent me information. Now, try and verify the information yourself before you send it to me. Try and verify that it was recent, that it was in South Africa, that it wasn't a consignment on its way from Namibia via South Africa to Botswana or Zimbabwe or anything like that. Make sure that it's being used in South Africa. This is important. Then we need to know the movement of these vehicles. We need to understand why there's helicopters flying at night on instruments, okay? Not on line of sight. We need to know where and how the UN is being used in the country because the government's not going to tell us. And this is a problem because it makes the whole election that we take part in a farce. And we understand this, and this is why we need to change the system drastically, and there's a plan for that, a plan that we can all follow. The United Nations is the main driving force to use our politicians to take all our freedom away. And they will do it in the name of everything that people think are wonderful. In other words, you are going to think it's so awesome that they're going to give people housing in these smart cities. But how awesome is it when you are being monitored with cameras around every corner? Your every move is being monitored. And a lot of people say, but there's so much crime. This is why it'll be awesome. And I say to them, why is this crime being allowed? It's so that you think this way. It's so that you are subverted. Crime can be stopped like this. Every police station has a book this thick of every crime boss, every drug gang in the area. They know exactly who the people are. They know exactly how the drugs are routed, and they assist in most of that. The police force is, by and large, involved in drug dealing. I remember when I still lived in Melkbosstrand, how the police drove out of Tableview to sell drugs to school kids at Van Riebeeck Strand Primary. And they were busted And then everything just goes silent afterwards. Now, I'm not putting this on all people in the police. What I'm telling you is you cannot trust people with low IQs, with pathetic training, that hasn't gone through proper sifting, and that are being paid a pittance, because they are going to find means of making more money. And because they are right there in the face of the drug trade and many other things, bad things are going to happen. It has since forever. It's not going to change. The government is not allowed. They are not allowed to get rid of the criminals, because the criminals drive the economy that this new world order that's been created, that it requires, so that we can order ourselves after the circumstances we find ourselves in. What are those circumstances? House break-ins, hijackings, rapes, murders, plundering, things being burned down, riots, all sorts of things are planned meticulously to make one thing sure, that one day you will want your child chipped to make sure that they don't get kidnapped, because then you can monitor, track, and trace them. To make sure that you want every corner of every street monitored by cameras, so that you can't boo or bar or move. A criminal will be caught immediately. You're already becoming this new world order. You're asking for it. You're not only asking for it, you're funding it through your neighborhood watch, through your neighborhood coming together and saying, yes, we're going to fund all these cameras. And the moment they connect it to the internet, you have sold your soul to other people, monitoring and tracking and tracing you. Seeing when you're going to work in the morning, when you're dropping your kids off at school, a lot of the new cameras have technology to see who's in the car, read your face, even with a mask on, and make sure that a profile is built up on your lifestyle. Now, if you don't want to believe this, go and do the research yourself. You don't have to believe anything I tell you. There's a profile being built on you right now. The profile's already there. That profile's being built upon continuously. Your phone is watching you day and night, as long as it's switched on, because you can't remove the battery anymore. Your phone is watching and listening to you all the time. Your phone is an extension. You are an extension of your phone. The phone is not an extension of you. You are the Android, literally. That phone is controlling your actions and your moves by feeding you information based on what you discuss in the home, in the car, where you're driving, wherever. And a lot of people are saying, but this is marvelous. The phone is thinking for me. It's artificial intelligence that's doing so. It's not even on the phone. It is on the Internet of Things that's being developed. And this is why a fiber network is being dug into this country at the speed of knots, like you've never seen in your life. You would have seen these white buckies traveling all over the country during COVID. No, there's no COVID. These oaks can jag around. It's all right. They can dig in massive long slote, put in these yellow cables with a fiber, and make sure that we get this grid up and running. And then spread all this fake information about 5G towers. People, fifth generation equipment can run off fiber easily. It doesn't need a tower. So while everyone's moaning and bitching about these towers, these people are just digging in the real thing that's going to go. And I'm not saying fiber is bad. The equipment you can attach to it, you can attach all fifth generation equipment to fiber lines. It's very easy. I'm using a fiber line right now to speak to you. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a fiber. It's how it is used that is important. And you need to understand that it will be used to, and is being used right now, to monitor, track, and trace you. You will see in Cape Town on the N1, as you come from Cape Town and you go up Kontermans Kloof on Panorama Hill, you will see new cameras up that's checking to see who is in the car, seeing if you are talking on your cell phone. It's monitoring the devices in your vehicle. Why are they doing this? Do you know how many laws they are violating by doing this? These laws mean nothing. And this is a final thing that I want to bring to you before we start chatting to each other. The laws of this country, the constitution of this country, the Bill of Rights of this country was written for this time, to subvert your mind to think that our government wants the best for your health, the best for your safety, the best for everything. But all the events they will make happen to make you ask for the solution that puts you at the forefront of this new world order. You will beg and plead for it if you are not prepared. And this is why I tell people that if you are not self-reliant and independent of government and corporate control, the control they have over you because you've allowed it to happen, and I include myself, then you won't have options. We need to have options to move forward, and this is a crucial year now. 2022 is a crucial year to make sure that we don't have the United Nations controlling our country by 2025 because of a failed state. Only we can change that. Remember, the ANC was planned to fail. The DA was planned to fail. The EFF was planned to fail. These people are being paid by the same idiots. They are being controlled by the same bunch. And the people that fall for the narrative of the mainstream media are thinking that there's a huge battle for good in Parliament. You're absolutely mistaken. Parliament is a farce. We need to create something completely new, and it looks like someone had that idea at some stage and decided the building is Parliament when it's not. The people, the MPs, they are the House of Parliament, and we need to make sure that we replace that entire system. This is very important. The people that are fighting for the current constitution, saying that it will save us, they are the subverters. Don't trust them. If any leader of any movement or political party says that this constitution will save us, do not trust them. They are the enemy without them even knowing it. If they know it, they deserve what's coming their way. But anyone that tells you this constitution will save you, that the courts will uphold your freedom, you are mistaken. When that constitution was written, they knew that this day would come. Like my father knew when he told me in 2004 that a virus will be released that will kill all the sickly people in the world and we will all be put under house arrest worldwide. I thought he was nuts. He even told me that it would start in Kailicha, spread to the Eastern Cape, and from there spread to the mines. In detail, he said it would happen via taxis. How did he know all of this? Now, that is not the question today. The fact that he laid out everything that will happen today is what is relevant. The fact that I sit with that knowledge, I sit with ample documentation to back it up. I cannot say that that trajectory won't change in future, but at this stage, everything he laid out is happening in plain sight in front of us, in detail. So I know which plan is in operation right now because I haven't seen a single deviation from it. It is clockwork, exactly as he laid it out. And when he served on the committee in 1984, they discussed it then. He made it clear. How many years ago is that? That's many years ago. 1984. They were discussing doing this, what they're doing to us today. So people, prepare yourself for any eventuality. If you do not, you won't have options. This is very important to understand. Okay, that is enough now. I wanted to put that out there. Now we can have a bit of a chat. Wow, we have 350 people watching, and it's going to be interesting to see at the end of this if this video is restricted or not. Yeah, we will see. Thanks, admins, for getting rid of problem people. So, any questions, any concerns that you have at this stage? Edrich, working hard. He says, how am I doing? There's so much work to be done. I actually felt quite overwhelmed today. AJ, how do we take back Zululand? The people there need to do it. They need to have the will. There's many good people there that understand the threat. And monitoring and growing the numbers of people on the ground, that's part of the plan, is what's vital. It doesn't help you complain about things and you don't do something on the ground. So at this stage, we just need to grow numbers. And all this YouTube channel is doing is creating awareness because, as you know, what we do is on the ground, face to face. We speak to people, we gather together, and we organize. That's the only way to do this. Hi, Artie. Down but not out yet says, I'm just enjoying the wake up club. Trudeau is catching. I'm not sure how that is spelled right now. We will see who goes the distance. At the end of the day, a bunch of truckers throwing a tantrum means nothing, because if you haven't achieved something and changed the government, if you don't have a plan to change the governance system, you've achieved nothing. So that whole trucking thing can just be a subversion. And you might feel that, the people are standing up against the government. No, they're not. They're throwing a tantrum because the government's still there. Trudeau is still there. So what have they achieved at the end of the day? In fact, they are the people that are implementing the plan, and they don't even see it. The plan is to create food shortages, supply shortages, so the governments collapse, so a one world government can be created, so people lose trust in governments and governance. This is the plan. So be very careful what you wish for and how you understand things. So the way I explain things is often the polar opposite to most other commentators on YouTube. It's because they don't have a cooking clue what's going on. Not at all. They're talking through their freaking buttholes. And it's really annoying. Wake up club is an awesome phrase. My thoughts on crypto, oh my word. I did an entire video on crypto. I don't want to get distracted with that nonsense right now. All I can tell you is Bitcoin is the currency of the new world order. It's the currency of the one world government. It might be a different form of something like Bitcoin, but Bitcoin was used to test the people of the world to see if they will invest in Bogoro. It was to see, will people invest in Bogoro? Something that can be made zero overnight. Okay. Literally. No, flip, I get so upset with these people. You see, the problem is that people are so, I haven't done double O days meetings in quite a long time where I can really get into the nitty gritty of things. So all of these freaking frot lappies, these gespuis that can jump on social media, they couldn't get a group together if they tried. If they asked people, Oaks, meet on this farm on this day, no one's going to listen to them because they see them as a form of entertainment. I tell people, if you're here to be entertained, sod off. I don't want you on the channel. You can leave. We need to have information. That is what's important. And I have real, relevant information that people can actually use to make decisions in their own lives. If they don't want to use it, that's fine. But at least I can say I try to get to as many people as possible because that's what's important. I need to reach as many people as possible. If people say I'm talking absolute rubbish, they're not interested, that's fine. At least they would have heard something because that creates accountability, and in the end, justice can be served. And that is very important. It's about the ends of justice. And that is why I stuck my neck out. I mean, I'm a nuclear professional, a highly skilled nuclear professional. I don't have to do this, really. I'm doing this for my wife and my kids so that we can have a future. And that is why what we are doing has to happen on the ground. And all the trolls in the world, they can't reach there because if they come there, they're going to get cornered. Okay, the people are going to moor them and sort them out so flippin' fast. And because they're the minority, they're a bunch of illiterate idiots. AJ says, yesterday was voting day in Portugal, but nobody's interested to vote. That's going to start happening around the world, AJ. That's a very important topic. So the whole idea is that people stop being interested in democracy because there is no democracy around the world. They want to tell people that it is democratic. So democracy has failed. Now we're going to bring you this new order that you're going to create amongst yourself, and then we're going to establish a one world government. So they need to ruin freaking everything to put this into place. Edrich, you went past Kubak yesterday. That's a decent place with a lot of sane people running around. Hubert, there's your consciousness and courage is amazing. This is not about courage. I don't have choices. I don't have a choice. I need to really shake people up. Otherwise, I don't know. I really admire your character. Please keep going. Your work will never be in vain. I hope not. At the end of the day, with what I do, I can see the results, because it's not myself that creates the results. It's people as individuals that create the results. And I can go wherever in the country and I can see the results of individuals taking action. So these people are becoming leaders in their own lives, then in their own families, then in their communities. It's beautiful to actually see that it takes place, and not waiting for my cue, but actually taking the initiative and doing things. And often you might stuff it up and it might become subvertive, especially if you get distracted. That's why I tell people, focus on 5 things. You cannot get distracted if you focus on these 5 things: water supply, food supply, shelter for you and your family and your loved ones, energy. The last one is something to keep you sane. If you're not focusing on those 5 things, you will see your gut. Okay. As in, like, squarely, sideways, flipping, pivot, swivel, and rotate. It's going to be horrible. So please make sure you have the 5 things you need for survival. Okay. Water, food, shelter, energy, and something to keep you sane. And then the 4 things you need, the 4 values you need to live by, is love first. Love, knowledge, justice, and action. Without action, you are going to sit back, like so many people have said in the last video. Oh, but you don't believe in God. You're just going to sit. You should be sitting back and just have faith. Mense, kan julle lees? Can you read? If you believe in the Savior, like I do, the Savior didn't say, sit op jou gat en wag tot die klip op jou kop val nie. That's not what I have read. Go and read again and understand. And really, people that come with the ridiculous commentary that's been subverted since the beginning of time, that are still subverted today, I just, make sure that they can't comment on the channel again. Luckily, they can still watch the video, so that's fine. And it's interesting, the people that hate me the most are the most chronic watchers. It's like they're obsessed. I wish I would go watch something else or make their own stuff. I see team manager, Elaine, Jean, Susan. It's really awesome. Wow, we have over 400 people watching. I didn't expect that. But I just wanted to make this last live for the month. And, what we're going to be achieving in this year is going to be written in the history books of South Africa. And, the people that are victorious with their plan get to write the history. That is always the case. So you understand that we will be victorious. There's no option. The plan will work, and it's about how fast we get it implemented. And that's what's important. As long as we get started and we meet our targets, we will be fine. If we meet our targets, we will be fine. This community has already changed the narrative in the country. It is so powerful. And if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 detractors, they are like a fart in the Suidoosterwind. I mean, no one even gives a hooting toss about them because they're not important. If they were that important and the message that was so important, they would be running the country. Not even I am running the country, because I don't want to. I'm not interested in running the country. I just want to give people information. That's all I want to do, and the people can then run the country, because that's what it should be. The people should be sovereign as individuals. For them to be sovereign as individuals, the first thing you need to do is become a citizen instead of being a subject. How many of you are subjects to the life you live right now? Subject to the Rothschild financial system. I am. I'm still subject to it. I'm not removed from it. Not at all. Hardy, I hope we see no more Q and Sarah Jasara, but still people sitting back thinking the quantum financial nonsense system will save them. They don't see it is just Bavarian plans with cute names. Hardy, that is beautifully said. Anyone that understands the beautifully sly plan that the Bavarian Illuminati came up with, if you go and watch my Moments in Time series and my Question Everything series, it's in 2 separate playlists. Go watch it. If you watch those videos, then you will start understanding what this channel is about. There's no one else with a video series like that out in the world, anywhere, nowhere. And that is why this channel exists. If I wanted to entertain people, I would have had hundreds of thousands of followers by now. Okay, because I actually know how to use YouTube. But because I do what I'm doing, this channel, every video is attacked by trolls because people want to stop what we are doing. And we are still growing. We grew by over 250 subscribers since the last video. That is incredible what you have achieved. And I really want to welcome the new people here. We have over 440 people watching now, and this video wasn't announced anyway. I just started streaming. So really, people, thanks so much. If you like the video and you share the video, more people will be able to watch it. I'm really keen to see if this video is going to be restricted as well. The last video I put out has over 15,000 views now while being restricted. Now that is incredible because I made that live stream 6 o'clock on Saturday evening. So it is now 2 days later, 15,000 views restricted. Is incredible. Now, go and look at the channels that are saying worse things than me about this and the pandemic and so on that aren't being restricted, and ask yourself, why are they not restricted? Why are the videos not being removed? Why don't they have to dance around a hot coal with their headlines and the thumbnail they put in? I have to change mine all the time so that my restrictions can be lifted. Why are certain people getting away with murder? Maybe it's because they are supported and funded by the enemy. Often it's not maybe. So, yeah. Okay, please tell me how I can be a part of the solution. Marsha, go and watch the Moments in Time Question Everything series. And there's many videos, live streams on this channel that spells it out in detail. I will not be speaking about that on this channel anymore because you need to find the place where you will know how to get it. And any of the admins, you can feel welcome to put the information in the comments. So it's very important that you become a part of the plan if that is what you want to do. And you're going to be sifted. We can't just let any hooligan become a part of what we are doing on the ground. We have to sift the people out and make sure that the people understand the plan, that they're willing to implement the plan, and it's all legal and above board. So it's very important that all the loopholes that we are using now to change our future, that we get it right and fast, that we get certain numbers. By the end of every year, we need to meet targets. We met our targets last year. We're going to meet our targets again this year and the next year and the next year. So it's about patience and speaking to other people, picking the other people you speak to. Don't just go and throw your pearls in front of the swine. It's the worst thing you can do. Don't get into fights with people. I don't argue or debate people at all. I just get rid of any bad influence. We don't have time to debate and fight with people. Okay. This channel is a channel that I created so we can build a community. And yeah, there's no time for debate. Anyone that wants to debate anything, they can start their own channel and promote what they want to put out there. They absolutely have the freedom to do that. They can start a channel called 00 Dois and say that I'm the biggest idiot on the planet. And they can do every video, can be obsessed about me. And that is fine. I will even promote those videos. I'll promote it on my channel, on Facebook and everywhere else. I've done it with other videos people made about me. They change their mind very quickly afterwards. So, yeah, thanks for, it's incredible that so many people have joined. Remember, you are the people that's making the change in the country. You are the difference, not me. And it's incredible. Yes, toxic people can get lost. They mean nothing to us. We seem in limbo with pandemic, any news on the Rhino, KZN and ANC big picture. Okay, at the moment, remember, the mainstream media will tell you the narrative they're trying to play out. So the whole narrative with regards to the ruling party, call it the ruling party because it doesn't matter which one is ruling, the same thing will happen. And that is that there's rifts, that the people break up and it has to fall apart. Remember, our government needs to crumble for the UN to actually come into South Africa by 2025 and say we are a failed state. And as I've said before, KZN is a big part of the plan. So the UN needs to have control there so that they can use that as springboard to come into the country. If the UN is in KZN, they have a port, they have many other places, they're busy building smart cities. To move from there into the country is easy. So in the past, the UN has used Lüderitz, okay, at Namibia as a port to bring their vehicles into Botswana and many other places. They haven't used Cape Town. The day Cape Town is used, I'm in Cape Town right now. I'll make a couple of announcements, okay. At the moment, KZN, we need to monitor what is happening, what size planes are flying what into the country, what trucks are moving equipment to where. This is important. Like I said, the three big threats in the country is the Zulu Royal House. That's the one. The second one is Eskom stability. And the third one is secession. The whole secession plan, the entire subversion. And anyone that is promoting secession is part of the greatest subversion in the history of this country. And you will still see that in future. Valerie, the people that worked with me always said I have a interesting sense of humor. This is not, I'm not normally like this. I did this impromptu now. So you get the worst and the best of me. And it's just good for you to see me as I am. I mean, there's no pretense on this channel. You get me the way I am. When I'm in my meetings, you will see I'm the same. You're not going to get anything different. There's no pretense. I don't have time to pretend. We don't have time for that. Well, we have 450 people watching. So if any of you have seen any UN vehicle movements, please, we need that information. We need to set up a chart of any UN vehicle flipping just appearing somewhere. The moment they move their butts, we need to actually know exactly where they are. So send me the information, please. UN vehicles aren't always marked. So if you see any black or white vehicles without markings, contact me as well. Even helicopters. Okay. I don't know, I see the whole vax story as one of the biggest subversions ever. It's taken people have focused so much on it. And it's a simple thing. If you don't want it, don't take it. I told people to prepare. It's your choice. I'm not going to tell people what to do. It's absolutely your choice to decide what you want to do. And no one is going to, the government will never force you to take anything. Okay. If they mandate it, what they are doing is they're saying if you don't take it, you won't be able to work, you won't be able to go into shops or anything like that, for instance. If you're prepared, you'll be fine. If you're not, you're screwed. It's that simple. So I've told people since I started the Double A Days tour to prepare yourself, get 3 months, minimum 3 months water and food storage. So you will have options. I repeated this over and over. All of you can go and watch the over 800 videos I put out. How many times I've said this now? Hundreds of times. Go and make sure you have 3 months food and water storage. Water first to make sure that you have options. Okay, it's that simple. This is not rocket science. It's very simple, people. Karine Gomez says, must be trustworthy and look out for each other. And with a bee like lioness with cubs, my brother and sister in this crazy BP time. Evelyn McLeod, thanks for that. We don't want political personalities. We like real people. We have to be real. This is a very real situation we're facing. So hopefully people will see through the nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense being put out there to subvert people at this stage. And this is problematic. It is a problem because it's a distraction. Okay. So I will make sure that everyone understands what I don't agree with. I don't have to speak about the people. The amount of idiots out there is immense because these people have superficial knowledge. If you go and watch Moments in Time and Question Everything series, you'll have a basic starting understanding of where I come from. And in my double O days meetings, I went into a lot of detail. The people that were there will understand that this is a part of me. I don't have to prepare to regurgitate all the stuff. I know it. I've been knowing this for years. The time I spent learning these things, and not internet learned, for real, has made a difference. It has helped me. And I wish I never had to learn all those things, but I have. I don't have a choice. So here I am sharing it with people, giving you my perspective. I've got, I think, 5 articles lined up that I need to deal with in the news, where I will give you my perspective. A lot of people might say, but Desmond, why are you covering news articles? Because these people are talking tripe, and I'm giving you my perspective on that article. So if you listen properly and you understand what's going on, then you will see the cues that I give you when I cover those articles, what it actually means. And the people that understand, it's important to listen to those, because you will get the cues that you need to make decisions in future and to put the bigger picture together in your head. It's important that you learn as much as you can. Liz Marsh, please become a member of instead of just a subscriber. Hi, Beata. Lorraine, hi. Lorraine says, hi, I just saw this live video now, so I'll have to catch up on the beginning later. Thanks for joining us, Lorraine. It was just an impromptu. I decided to come on and not put it out there, and we've had an awesome response. We could discuss many things in a short space of time. I don't plan anything, so I just blah. And yeah. Ilka says, I swear, beginning into lockdown, we heard sonic sounding planes flying overhead, over neighborhood suburbs. Anyone else hear them? So any strange things that are happening, if the more information we receive around it, the more people can corroborate it. If it's 3 people in one area saying the same thing, then you've got something serious that you need to consider seriously. And that's just the way humanity works. 3 people is far more powerful than 1 person. Okay. So always try and find other people that have had similar experiences. And then when you actually link up and speak to each other, then you can start formulating something. Often what you see can be explained easily. I mean, I have stood and watched out over Cape Town, the planes approaching. In the distance, anyone can think or say that it's a UFO. And as the plane comes closer, it's very clear that it's a plane. So, yeah. Just saw a helicopter today, rugby near Eysterplaat. Well, helicopters fly from Eysterplaat. It's an Air Force base. So I'm not sure in what context you saw the helicopter, Beata. T-Man, I truly believe that we have lost the ability to differentiate between the real and the fake. It's for each individual, T-Man, to develop that ability, and it's up to you. I can't develop it for you. I can't come and save you. I'm not going to lead you into freedom. I can't do it. I'm honest. Other people that claim they can, rubbish them. They deserve to be rubbished. They are idiots. Don't believe them. In this fight that we're in now, it's going to take hundreds of thousands of South Africans to be very disciplined, very organized, to do what we need to do to maintain a semblance of freedom in South Africa. Planes flying extremely fast, very loud. Well, that if there's sonic booms, then it's military planes going through the speed of sound. Nothing unusual about that. Okay, while you were working, okay. Ansia, I'm shocked, Ansia, to see still a lot of Israel visie verdwaaldes. Ja, the stoere boere wil net seseer. Well, I think once they realize what they are going to create, I think many of them might not enjoy it. So, yeah, but it'll never get there. What it will create, though, is a situation. Hi, Liz, you've been a member for 8 months now. People, if you want to join as a member, you can sign up. Click the join button underneath the video, And then every Thursday at 8 o'clock, we have a live chat with the members, and I make 2 exclusive members videos. I put a lot of information in the community section for the members, and we have discussions there. That is quite important. So, yeah. The Israel VC, the staunch people in the Israel Vision, it's a group of people I understand very well, and I have sympathy for how they feel, because they also feel threatened by many things that the world globalists are doing. But there's huge misunderstandings with regards to many things. And one thing that I'll never forget is when I got to, after my dad had passed, and I flew up immediately to him in Gauteng, and I got to his room where his computer was. He had a piece of paper that he had written on, in highlighter, just before he died. And the words that he wrote there was profound, because in his last 2 weeks before he died, I had a 3-hour long conversation with him, and he internalized everything I told him. And on that piece of paper, he wrote something that made it clear that he changed his mind about many things because of what I said to him. And that was really profound. And I believe it changed him forever. And I'm really glad that I had that conversation with him. I'm not glad that I found the tape that proved that he was killed. But yeah, you know, he was a very religious man. He walked around with a Bible everywhere he went. He did everything based on his religious beliefs. And he had so many assassination attempts on his life. And yeah, when you shot at with a bullet that goes through your shoulder, that's a proper assassination attempt, especially when it's a tungsten bullet. And poisoning, many other things. So what he was trying to do wasn't popular. The fact that he turned his back on the committee and the work they were doing, it's not something that you're going to go unnoticed for. So yeah. Hardy Jonk raises something important, commenting to Marina Coetzee, seeing how the centralists are using laws to take away our ability to be self-sufficient. You will see the Democratic Alliance will start doing anything to stop people from being self-reliant. Look at the walking buses to school, where people in communities took the initiative to start walking to school with a whole bunch of kids. There's no real bus, but they're walking in a group together with adults. So the people starting to do this on their own. And now the new mayor said, no, we're now going to formalize jobs. You must have certain qualifications. We are stopping the school bus project. And they just raped it away from these people in the communities. And these people said, stuff you. You can't just stop this. We did this on our own. But this is the DA control. This is the mayor, Jordan Neal Lewis, who I've met before. I've had discussions with him before. I understand how his mind works. I asked him a question the one day, and you should find this interesting. When the spokesperson for the DA in the Western Cape wrote a scathing article against someone on the West Coast that decided not to marry a specific couple, it was against his religious beliefs. And she wrote the scathing article, said that religion is archaic and should be done away with. And I said to Jordan, do you think it's okay, as an MP in Parliament and chief advisor to Musi Memani, that this woman, who is the DA spokesperson in the Western Cape, writes an article like this? Do you think it's okay? Do you know what his answer was to me? The DA is a broad church. That was his answer to me. And he said it'll be an interesting case for the Concord. Piece of freaking trash. So listen, people, you can't trust these gemors as far as you can see them. They are rubbish, scum of the earth trash. These people that want to take our freedoms away, they are doing it in the most ridiculous ways. They don't care about your freedom. They will do everything to subvert your freedom. These people are common trash when it comes to freedom. Absolutely. They want absolute power over you. They want to decide and control how you will do things and how many people will fall for this nonsense. You know, I these people should just be removed out of society. Once we get to a semblance of control amongst citizens, actually being citizens again instead of being subjects, we should just ask those people to leave the country because we don't need people like that here. Really, they should just leave. So, any other comments? I'm going to be closing off in 10 minutes, well, 9 minutes' time. Yeah, they are puppets, just like everyone. Just remember, the African National Congress or the ruling party, they were organized a long time ago. My dad knew in the late 70s that the ANC was chosen already to be the movement that will uh, that will take over from the National Party. Because he heard Pik Botha, Dennis Warrell, and Chris Yennis discuss this in a meeting. Their discussion was recorded. He had those recordings, and he was shocked to know that people in the National Party, Broederbonders and Freemasons, were literally complotting this lot. Now, Dennis Warrell was in opposition. Chris Yennis and Pik Botha was in the National Party. So why are they sitting together in one room discussing how the ANC will take over in the late 70s? This was planned a long time ago. These people in the ANC never stood a chance. All they are doing is eating at the trough. And any person that is making this about the ANC versus the DA versus the EFF, they are subverters. They are idiots, absolute buffoons. They have no idea what is happening. None. They aren't only stupid, they are retarded. Because any narrative like that, how is that going to help us? It's not going to help us at all. If you know in the late 70s, I mean, that's in the midst of the border war, that the ANC is going to take over. It's been planned a long time ago. And if you look at all the people who formed the ANC into what it became, you will see the Zionist movement deeply entrenched in the ANC roots and the Democratic Party roots, the DA today. You will see the Zionist roots deeply entrenched. So go and look at the Moments in Time series and understand what we are facing. How the State of Israel was created by the Rothschilds, how their symbol is on the Israeli flag, as above, so below. I will be your heaven on earth. They are God to us in their minds. These people are sick. I want nothing to do with them. I'm really sick and tired of their nonsense. And I hope you're going to join us in fighting these bastards, really. Down but not out says, I always remember the photo of Pik Botha and the Cubans having a good laugh smoking Cuban cigars. I'm glad you remember that. Hardy brings up another important point here, again speaking to Marina about GMO seeds. In the intro video for this channel, I probably have one of the most important pictures. Go and look at the intro video for Double O Days. I had to decide, what do I put there on my intro video? And that picture on my intro video is probably the most important picture on this channel. Many other pictures in my intro should give you a clue as to the future. And the people that have been to my meetings, if you go and watch my intro video, and I see the people have actually started watching it, it's not that long, there are clues there like you cannot believe. Okay, but the thumbnail is most important. It is the seed bank in Norway. The seed bank in Norway. Now you need to think for yourself, why is that the thumbnail on the introduction to this channel? Aisha says, us Omies will roll the dung out a year like professionals. Thanks, Aisha. Absolutely. Felix, speak truth with no fear, live free without fear, and your example will make many people ask questions. Absolutely, Felix. That is very important. Being an example is very important because other people can feel it. If remember, I said love, knowledge, justice, and action. Those are the values that you need to live by. And if you live by those values, People will see it with their own eyes. And when things start happening to them, like I said, you don't have to convince them of anything. Things will happen to them in this country before it happens in the rest of the world. But then we will have peace and we will rebuild from scratch. Believe me, this country is not going to look the way it looks now. If that is not a bombshell, people, I don't know what is. This country will not look the way it is looking now when we start rebuilding. Felix says, spread love through your words and actions. Absolutely. We are winning ground, Des. Yep, we have to keep going, Tasha. Absolutely. Marina says, I think inflation is going to, what? Going to club us very hard. Marina, if you're prepared, then you're prepared. Marsha, I'm ready for this fight. Philip, the road is broad and spacious. Many will go down it. Philip, a very good way of putting that. The road is being made very smooth, in fact, so that it's easy for you to just slide down that road. So the road to the New World Order is going to be paved with gold, make no mistake, and silver and Bitcoin and many other things. So it's going to be paved with that, and people are going to go down that road. It's going to be a very easy road. It'll be the automatic road because that's a road that everyone or the majority of people will travel on in the world. So yeah, absolutely. Let me just see. FOMO, fear of missing out. There's many of you here that have been members for quite a while. Thank you so much for being members on this channel. You see everyone with a 00 day sticker next to their name are members of the channel. I really want to thank you for being a part of the community. Wow, this live is just growing. We're almost sitting at 500 people watching now. Thanks for joining us. Oh, Jenny, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please become a part of the 00 Days community, and then you can see what we get up to every Thursday evening. It's a lot of fun. It's a filtered community. That's the beauty of the community. There's 1,000 of us, and we'll probably start growing in future, become a larger community. Francois, with no pot of gold at the end. Yeah, there's no pot of gold at the end of that road. There's a huge heap of dung, and we will clean that out for you. Okay, from the bottom up. Marsha says, hope, love, hard work, and faith. Absolutely. AJ. Beata says, if we work together, things can happen. Absolutely. Aisha, I'll be in the dirt road the way I like it, natural all the way. I think a lot of the people on this channel, when people go and rough it, a lot of South Africans go camping. Now, when you camp, you rough it. So South Africans are used to this. A lot of people are used to very little, to surviving on very little. So we're very resilient people. We're also very haragat. We don't take nonsense from other people. We don't take instructions from other people. But we are politically literate. We don't really know what's going on in the political landscape. With this channel, I try to give you a perspective that makes you interested, because if you're not, we're not going to make it. We need to take social action and we need to take political action. If we don't do both, we're not going to stand a chance. Okay. Basil, thanks. It's always awesome to hear your views and experience. Dunya, do you think Rainer Filmic's court case will be a reprieve for South Africa? I don't think any court case will give us a reprieve anywhere in the world. However, the court cases do need to happen. We need to prove the systems. We need to prove that the judicial system is captured. So it's important to take it to the high courts, take it to the Concord, but actually do it. Don't talk about it, do it. People that actually take action, that helps. So take it. Don't talk, nyara, nyara, nyara. Actually do it. So people that actually do it, I promote those people because they are actually doing something. It helps. You can talk yourself blue in the face and do absolutely bugger all. So let's see. All these things do need to be tested in the judiciary. I don't think we'll have any success in any case I know what Trojan horses were built into the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. We won't come right. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights is dead against us because it gives the government the right to make decisions over our lives and decisions for our children. This is the problem. So you can, in the Bill of Rights, you can say you have the right to teach your kids, give them a schooling. And then if you read further, it says that the state is responsible to ensure that your child gets sufficient schooling. So now they are going to literally outlaw homeschooling. They are planning this with a bellable. Because what they're doing is they're going to say, all you must do now is homeschool your kid with the same curriculum they're giving the kids in school. What is the point then? There is absolutely no point. And the video I did on Anzi Mutsecha, that's had over 13,000 views, has done really well. You can go back and go and watch that one. Nadia, I spoke about it earlier. My thoughts on the action taken by the Canadian truckers, absolute subversion. It means absolutely nothing. It's not going to change anything in the Canadian government unless it actually does exactly what the One World government wants, for the Canadian government to fall apart. There will be nothing to replace it. They want people to not trust government. They're going to use us to break the governments down. That is the plan. The Bavarian Illuminati plan that Adam Weishaupt put together was like clockwork being implemented, especially in countries like Canada, New Zealand, Australia, until they got to South Africa. You know, they wanted to do everything here and it just backfired mightily because the people here, they don't have to toy or block a road with trucks. Here we somehow burn down the place. Yeah, we're different here. Very different. Yeah, people, like and share this video so as many people as possible can watch this. Trudeau is still there. Absolutely. So if you don't have a plan to put a new system in place, you have nothing. You just have a bunch of people throwing tantrums. So, you know, a lot of people will probably be very disappointed that I have this view, but my view is correct. I know it's correct. So unfortunately, subversion is everywhere. And, you know, to get people out to a protest or get people to pull up in trucks, that's the easiest thing to do. I mean, the Rothschilds can organize that like this. Hi, Alka. Welcome as a member. So once you organize something like that, everyone feels wonderful. And I've seen all these people talking about the truckers in Canada. Do you know what? I haven't even bothered to look at it because it means absolutely nothing. What I want to see is the Canadian government has been replaced by a true democratic government with new leaders. They've rolled out a new plan for a new system. Then you'll get my interest. Anything else is total subversion, a complete waste of my time. Edrich, I need to interview Uncle Rob. I'm so far behind with that. I've been running around like a blauwgat vlieg trying to sort out very important issues in Eskom. So be glad that your lights are on, people. There's many very professional people working on that. Okay. As far as I know, Robbie's doing fine. I communicated, well, I didn't phone him earlier, but as far as I know, he is doing fine. I am communicating with him somewhere, which I won't divulge here. Yep, Derek says, ons gaan nog lekker diep spore in die landtrap. We're going to have very deep tracks. We're going to put deep tracks in this country. And you know, it's going to take people from all religious backgrounds, from all racial backgrounds to stand together in one common goal. Now, this is where a lot of people run away immediately because they are racist, they are separatist, they are everything we don't need right now. They are everything that the Bavarian Illuminati wanted to create. And if you don't understand that you are a part of the problem, that the narratives being driven was created by the Bavarian Illuminati, people like Jan Smuts and many others, if you don't understand that, I can't help you. And that's fine. You know, you can believe whatever you want. Ottawa trucking protest feels very psyop-like. It absolutely is. I mean, what else is it? You know, I always ask people, what was achieved through the action? It's not rocket science. You know, if we have a hashtag Freedom SA event, and people ask, what did you achieve? And I'll say, a whole lot of people got together and spent time together. We discussed things together. There was a sense of togetherness, seeing so many people that feel the same about their freedom being taken away. That is very powerful. And that unity that forms is so important. So we achieved something, and we'll be achieving a lot more. And I will announce a date for the next Gauteng event. We'll have an event in Cape Town, KZN again, but we still behind on our event in the Eastern Cape. So I will announce when the Eastern Cape event takes place. But the Gauteng event will happen just before Easter, so you can look forward to that. Okay. Aisha says, love me a Zulu or 100 on my stoop. The illuminated won't touch us. Bongani says, I wonder what they are planning while they make the focus Russia on the Ukraine border, and while China keeps on invading Taiwan's airspace. Feels like a magic trick. Look there while we take here. Absolutely, Bongani. I'm glad that you bring that out. You know, this happens all the time. You need to focus on the 5 things you need to survive. Once you've done that, okay, and you use the 4 values love, knowledge, justice, and action. If you do things out of love, the knowledge you acquire will be special. The justice you enact through your action will be serving justice. And because it's done out of love, it's not going to be done for the wrong reasons. Once you do that, your eyes will open. The whole world will look different. The news will look different to you. And things that you might find extremely important, I just brush it off. Means nothing to me, because I see immediately, is this something credible or not? And I always say, look at the evidence. It's just people haven't learned how to ask the right questions. And it's because you're still too entrapped in the Rothschild financial system. Once you remove yourself from it, your eyes will open. Yes, look, let Toto divide and conquer, absolutely. But we are becoming united. We are going to have to start jogging at the least. Francois, I went walking with my wife early this morning. We'll do it every single morning. People, you need to get fit. Okay, get fit this year. This is the year of getting fit. We have time still. So get fit this year. By the end of this year, there's going to be thousands of us. And that's powerful. You know, when you have, Lawrence said the other day, the target is 10,000 people. So that's a large group of people. So go and follow Lauren Evanthia on a YouTube channel, Lauren Evanthia, and go and follow the Organic Humanity Movement on YouTube. And then from there, you can go to the websites and everything else and follow the plan from there. Lauren came up with a plan that we need to implement in the country, and each individual needs to do that. There is no person that's going to save you. I'm not going to save you. I'm going to make sure that my family is fine. I need everyone else's help to make that possible. And at this stage, we are ahead. We are not behind. We are ahead. And that is important. Okay. So the common ground has already been created. That common ground being created through the values and principles of is very important. And I'm not going to say anything more about that. 6G, we can speak about 7G as well. Letlotlo asks WDS, what do you think of China's breakthrough in 6G technology? Well, the first thing I need to tell you is I know people that have worked on 6th and 7th generation technology already. So, sorry to say, and that is South Africa. And the Oppenheimers are at the forefront of this, and there should be no surprises there. And the other thing you need to understand is that our NASPAS group, which was our Nationale Pas, in other words, our national press, which was formed out of broederbonders and many other bonders and whatnot. NASPAS, it's run by Koos Becker today, owns many companies in China, but Tencent is one of those companies that are looking at AI development. They are looking to be at the forefront of development of 6th and 7th generation technology. Once you actually understand what's happening on the ground, you might actually lose hope. But don't lose hope, because in South Africa, the people will ruk those drade uit die grond uit faster than those oaks can put it in. So, yeah, all I can say, our people in this country is very good at breaking anything down that they don't want. Chop, chop. You can take a year to dig that stuff in, a year to dig that stuff into the ground. I can guarantee you now it'll get ripped out in a week. So people, make sure that you become mentally fit as well as physically fit this year. It should be your target for this year. If you are grossly overweight, start working now. By the end of this year, it's going to give you the discipline you need to actually see this through and to also clearly see what's going on in the country. The other important thing is to make sure you get rid of any addictive substance, whether it is Coke, coffee, whether it is dagazole, whether it's anything that alters your mind. If you're addicted to chocolate, stop. Anything that changes your behavior, try and overcome those addictions so that you can enjoy things just for enjoying it, not for it to alter the way you think, because you're going to have to think clearly on your feet so that you can literally assimilate information that come your way. You can't receive inspiration if you are intoxicated in some way or form. So stop funding the Ruperts. Stop funding the Ruperts and the Rothschilds with your dope that you're drinking. Stop funding the Ruperts with the cigarettes that you're smoking. Stop it. Anything that is controlling your behavior, you need to stop that. Whatever it is, it can be many things. Prescription drugs, I mean, it's endless. If you're addicted to TV, stop. Stop. Throw the flipping thing away. I haven't had a TV now for almost 14 years. I don't miss it. I don't need it in my life. Get rid of anything that addicts you. Okay, we've gone way over the time, but I really thank you for joining me. There's 470 of us in this community now, and it's really been awesome. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really enjoyed this. I think I'll try the last day of every month to have a live like this where we can just talk nicely. Yeah, go and watch Lauren Evanthia on YouTube. Maybe I'll just give you the link to that. I think that'll help. And then go and watch the videos that she has made, especially on the Constitution, to make it easy for you to understand the Trojan horses that are found in our Constitution. Go and watch the fights that she's fought against comprehensive sexuality education, how your child is going to be used against you in school. And I mean, that is serious. That's not funny. We should all be very concerned about that. And I'll give you the link now to Lauren Evanthia. Go and subscribe there and go watch the videos. Put in the effort, put in the time. There we go. She has 3,160 subscribers now. So go and join. Here's the link coming now. Go and join that channel and watch those videos. Spend time on those videos. Go and watch the interviews that she's done on the CSE they're going to be implementing in the schools. How UNESCO, a subsidiary of the United Nations, is going to get your child to be subjected to things that is not age appropriate. Things that you should be very concerned about. Really concerned. And this is the other channel that you can go and watch. If you want to understand, basically there's so much information there. And the plan that we are implementing to make a difference in the country, that is very different to anything that's ever been attempted before. This has never been done anywhere in the world. The first attempt to do this in the world is happening right here in South Africa. And just like other countries have sucked us dry, are sucking us dry to remain superpowers and to become superpowers, we are going to say, cheers. That's Overs Cadovers, the Queen. We're going to take the diamond out of your crown and bring it back to South Africa and gooi it back into the Kimberley Gat. Really, you don't deserve it. We want you and all your twak out of the country. You can stuff off and go and enjoy your Great Britain You can take your rod that you have there in Parliament, that the Sergeant of Arms brings in, and you can shove it. You can shove that staff. We don't want that mace. Okay. We don't want your Westminster system. You can stick it where the sun don't shine. I don't want it in this country. We will create a truly South African system, and you, Queen of England, will not be part of it. You will be a distant memory because your family, the Windsors, will be kicked out. You see, a one world government does not have place for you. You've been used as a useful idiot, you and your stupid sons. And unfortunately, Harry is the only one that had a bit of common sense not to serve on the committee of 300. Your stupid brother is there. And of course, your stupid father, illiterate father, that doesn't know how to flip and say Arthur or Martha. You're so stupid that you can't even speak properly for the committee and they have to reprimand you. Charles, that is how stupid you are, Mr. Wingnut. So, yeah, I really enjoyed saying that. Yeah, absolutely a plague on society, Jenny. I don't know why your comment was flagged. I absolutely agree with it. So, yeah, thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for joining me. The Royals can go stuff off. We will start our own parliamentary system that includes all the people of South Africa, and we will acknowledge the Khoi and the San people as the first people here in this country. The rest of us came here. We need to give them a rightful place, the languages and everything. I think it's very important, um, that you acknowledge certain things. It's just basic. It's basic things. It's not a lot to ask for, really. Yes, hashtag liberate SA, hashtag freedom SA. Use these hashtags everywhere, people. So it's all part of our fight. Thank you so much for joining me. All 450 of you, you really awesome people that is helping us in this fight. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up to over 400 and share this video as far as we can. Let's see if some idiots got us restricted. If there is, keep on sharing. And a lot of people will watch it. These idiots can't stop us. Um, they're so scrawny and small and insignificant, and they are so desperately trying to stop the work that we are doing, but they can never stop us because it's not me doing the work, it's thousands of you. You're really awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a good night. Good night, everyone. Thanks for all your comments. It's really been stunning.